Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine de Michel. I am Michel, and today, or tonight, since it's actually nighttime right now, we're going to be making creamy garlic shrimp pasta, which I found on the site Eat Well 101. So I've never made this before. This is my first time. Before we started the video, I made the pasta, which you can see. This is 8 ounces of farfalle pasta that's already been cooked. When you cook it, make sure you reserve the cooking water, which I actually have off to the side there. We'll worry about that later. And so then we're going to put in, you need at least a 10-inch skillet. You're going to put in 2 tablespoons of oil from sun-dried tomatoes. And we're gonna heat this on medium. And this is me experimenting with this again, which I haven't done that much, so we're gonna find out what medium is here on mine. I think 350 is about medium, so we'll find out. Once that gets heated up, which shouldn't take very long since this is induction, we're gonna be adding 1 pound of shrimp. Of course, I've taken, deveined it, all that stuff. This is just, this is raw shrimp. It looks pink because this is actually pink shrimp. There's different varieties of shrimp, and that's just one that happened to be on sale, so that's why I got it. And it's actually wild caught as well, which should have a really good flavor. So I'm looking for my oil to get heated here. Starting to get a little bit warm. We're going to be adding the shrimp in one layer, and we're going to cook it on each side for about a minute each. And we're going to be seasoning it with just a little bit of salt as it cooks. Yep, let's see, that's already getting here. Start adding these in. Okay, so the shrimp has been cooking for about a minute per side. You can see they're nice and golden-y getting here. So we're going to go ahead and take those, remove them to a plate. Now, one thing I'm going to add that isn't in the original recipe is some kielbasa. That's going to be coming up here in just a second. I'm adding it because, first of all, I really love kielbasa. I think it'll go well as a flavor with it. And also because I had some left over that I need to use up in the fridge. So there you go. Try not to waste anything. All those shrimp out there. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw in the kielbasa. This is about 6 ounces worth of kielbasa, so it's not a lot. It's not a huge addition. I'm just going to cook that for a minute so it can go in with our sauce here. And we'll cook that until it's a little bit golden on each side. It shouldn't take very long. Okay, so the kielbasa has been cooking for just a couple minutes here. It's starting to get a little bit brown at the edges, so we're going to transfer them back out of the pan. Almost said pot. Really more like a pan here. Out. The next thing we're going to be adding into the skillet are the sun-dried tomatoes that were in that oil that we added to the skillet to start with. There are 4 ounces of those. They're going to be going in. as well as 3 cloves of minced garlic. Get out of there. Seriously. Stir those around. Give it a second to get kind of fragrant. Wow, it gets the fragrance really quickly. Okay. Pretty fragrant there. And then we're going to be adding in a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And we're also going to add in a 1/2 cup of, it says half and half. This is not actually half and half. This is, I mixed half heavy cream and half whole milk, which is about the same. It also says you can use heavy cream in the recipe, so it should work just fine. So we're going to stir this together, bring it to a simmer. And scrape up those bits that are at the bottom of the pan. Get some flavor in there. It's already starting to get to a simmer very quickly. So the next thing to do is we have 4 ounces of shredded mozzarella. We're going to be adding that in, and it says to go to low heat, so I'm going to reduce my heat again. Go ahead and stir this a little to help reduce that heat. I'm going to add the mozzarella in a little at a time so it doesn't just clump up, because I don't want that to happen. And it says that if for any reason the sauce is too thick, we can add a small amount of the cooked pasta water. It's already getting fairly thick. We have to do that. Just me adjusting the heat because it does say low. I'm trying not to mess it up here. That does seem fairly thick, so I'm going to add just a little bit of the reserved pasta water. Alright, that looks good. It now says that we are going to add in dried basil. We're going to be putting 1 tablespoon of dried basil. And 1/4 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. 1/8 of a teaspoon of paprika. It says to adjust the seasoning with salt and pepper, so I'm going to go ahead and add those in as well. Again. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of pepper. Some salt over here that I already measured. Put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt there. Oh yeah, it smells great. Okay. So now it says we are going to be adding the cooked pasta to this sauce. Smells wonderful. And after that, it says we're going to be putting back in the cooked shrimp. And since I've got my kielbasa here, I'm going to save out a couple for my son. He loves kielbasa, so I'm not going to be adding all of it in. The sauce is pretty thick, so I'm going to go ahead and add, it says to add a bit of the pasta water. It actually had a half cup listed. I'm going to go ahead and add in a pretty good amount here because it's fairly thick, and I don't want it to be that thick. Oh yeah, that's much better. It's coming around really well. And it says that we're just going to let that cook on low for about a couple of minutes so that we can let those flavors combine. And after that, we will be putting some grated Parmesan in and serving it up. So we'll be ready to have our final presentation here in just a moment. So as you can see, I've plated it now. I have to put an addendum here at the end. I left out a step at the very beginning, which was supposed to be 1 teaspoon of onion powder was supposed to be sprinkled over the shrimp before putting them in the pan to cook. Since I didn't do that, I actually just added it in while it was cooking. Hopefully it'll still taste good. It smells great, so I'm assuming it's still gonna be fine. I did have to add the full half cup and a little smidge more of the pasta water. So anyway, I'm getting ready to try this, and I think it's gonna be fantastic. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Cuisine de Michel. Please like, share, and subscribe, particularly the subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir!